Hello everybody, this is Nato at the Nest, and this is the intro to the second Boer War. If you remember, two scenarios ago, the British and the Boers went at it in South Africa, and the Boers had won that fight. Well, we're now at 1899, and historically the tensions between the British and the Dutch farmers known as Boers hadn't really improved any. It was a very tenuous peace, and what kicked this second round of fighting off was the less than idealistic reasons. Pure and simple, somebody found gold and diamonds in the Boer territory, and so that kicked off a gold rush and a diamond rush, and very quickly British settlers outnumbered Boer settlers, and the Boers, who were afraid afraid of their country basically being invaded from the inside out, passed certain laws that would deny those British immigrants citizenship, right to vote, and all that fun stuff. And through some shady stuff on both sides, it ended up in another conflict. This second war was much bigger and much longer than the first. The first one only lasted a couple weeks, so 2 turns. This one lasted 2 years and some change. So, and for the British, had the highest casualty rate since the Crimean War. So definitely much bigger conflict, and as you can see, we are no longer using risk pieces. We finally moved on technology-wise to we're using a little more modern pieces. So you see we're new artillery, new ships. An interesting historical side note, it was the results of the first Boer War that finally caused the British to shed those bright red uniforms. So the very lopsided casualties of the first war with the Boers, and forced the British to adopt a uniform that blended in a little better to their surroundings. So after the first Boer War, England adopted khaki uniforms instead of the bright reds. No new technology in this. The frigates have been replaced with World War I cruisers. Naval bases have been added, so ships will get that +1 movement if it starts at a friendly naval base. Boer objectives is to take Union of South Africa. British objectives is to take Bechuanaland. Very straightforward and simple. Boers go first. Boers don't have a production again, but how the Boers get their reinforcements is they get to roll 1 dice, the result of that divided by half, rounded down, and that's how many infantry they get. So same game mechanic as the Texas Independence. This scenario is 6 turns long, so we'll see if that's enough to keep the Boers in the fight. That might have to be tweaked. See, the Suez Canal has been completed, so the canal is now there. England has expanded pretty substantially. It now controls all of India, Hong Kong, Malaya, parts of Borneo. Egypt. England now controls Egypt. And so yeah, that's pretty much all there is to know about the scenario. At least everything pertinent to this scenario. And so, without any further ado, we'll get into the turn and see what happens with the fall of 1899. See you then. Hello everybody, this is Nato at the Nest with the fall of the 1899 turn of the Second Boer War. And the Boers invaded the Union of South Africa, British territory. And they managed to get 2 hits for 1 loss of their own. And then the reinforcement roll, the Boers rolled a 4, so they got 2 more infantry. So a pretty good roll for them. And that was it for the Boers, pretty simple. The British didn't attack. All the England did was buy an artillery, a militia, and then 4 transports. 3 of them went there, and 1 went to India and Calcutta. So England obviously preparing to bring in troops from across its empire to deal with these Boers once and for all, hopefully. Hopefully it'll go better for the British than the last time. Boer strategy, just keep the fight in Union of South Africa as long as possible. The Boers have to take the Union of South Africa, but if they keep the fight in the Union of South Africa, even if they don't take it, they can at least end the war with a draw. The British need to get reinforcements to South Africa as fast as possible and drive the Boers out, and then take the fight to the Boers' homeland as fast as possible. They only got 6 turns to do it, so that was it. It's just one of those scenarios where there's only 2 nations fighting, so the turns go pretty quickly. So that was it. We'll come back with the next turn, which is the spring of 1900 and a new century for the scenario. So we'll see you then. Hello everybody, this is Nato at the Nest with the spring 1900 turn of the Second Boer War. And the Boers started off with another attack on South Africa, and that went very poorly for the Boers. The Boers lost 3 units and only inflicted 1 on the British. So failed to take the territory. Rolled a 4 on the reinforcement roll, so they got 2 infantry again. And that was it for the Boers. The British opted not to attack again. The British are going to just play defense in South Africa and wait for reinforcements to arrive before they begin offensive operations. So in that vein, the transport that they bought last turn in India loaded up and started sailing for South Africa. And the transports they bought in London have loaded up and are sailing south, so reinforcements are on the way. So the Boers have to try their best to take South Africa before British reinforcements get there and make the Boers' job of taking South Africa extremely difficult. And that was it for the turn.
Hey, thanks for
British just
watching
bought
Axis and Allies players.
loads
Don't
of
forget to hit a squad on
ground
that
troops,
like
bought
button. If you'd like to see more
artillery,
videos
put it
just
in
like this,
Calcutta,
go ahead and click on our
an
subscribe
artillery
button.
and 2
You can
militia,
view all of our
put it
other
in
videos
South
on our
Africa.
playlist right here on Viper and Nato, straight
Bought
from the nest coming at
2
you from
infantry,
historical
2
board
artillery,
games,
and cavalry
Z-Man
in
Games,
London,
Parker Brothers,
and
Hasbro, and Wizards of the
cavalry in
Coast.
Ottawa.
Thanks for watching, guys, and
That
we'll
was
see
it.
you on the next round.
So we'll come back with the fall of the 1900 turn. See you then.